Hello. Hello. Dear students, Jai Hind and very good morning. Welcome back to our revision session. As you all know, we are continuing the revision of chapter number 5, that is algebraic expression. You have already attended 3 lectures of revision. In all these 3 lectures, we have in detail explained you only the two particular identity. First, a plus b whole square, and then second, a minus b whole square. Now, dear student, as I have already told you that the revision doesn't mean that I will go through the whole chapters. Understand? Revision means in any particular chapter, the topic which I assume myself that the student might find it difficult, those topics I mostly include in revision, and it has been, as I can remember, your WRT records of this particular chapter that many students found some of the application of identity little difficult. So today I am going to start revision of those identity and their application. I am avoiding one identity in revision. I just mentioned, you all know this. I just caught down it here. You all know it very well. A plus b into a minus b. You know this? That's equal to what? A square minus b square. You know this. And I am, as far as our revision lectures are concerned, I am simply ignoring the application of this particular identity because I don't find that you must have any problem in this particular identity. But what my target today is reverse application of this identity and solving some difficult examples, understand, of reverse of this. Okay, so dear student, let me write the contrast of this. This we are ignoring, but I am writing identity in this way. Minus plus b into a minus b. We are targeting application of this identity for solving some of the difficult example, and again, dear student, I want to mention one more thing. I will never take the quite simple examples in revision of this particular identity. We will take some because some of the simple example you can understand quite easily. Understood? No doubt. Just to remind in your mind the application of this particular identity, because much time has passed the days when I explained this particular chapter, almost 2.5 months back. So, at least to bring you people on the track, I will revise at least one of the simple example for you, and I will revise those clue points which are essential for application of this particular identity. Understood? So, we will start with one simple example just to revive in your mind how to apply this particular identity. Okay, just for the reminder, let me write one example. Okay, it is like this. Just write down 16x square minus 25 y square. Okay, here what, my dear student, I want to discuss with you is that what I have seen when you are explained application of one identity, you find it very easy to understand and apply. But what happens, I have seen in tests that students are not able to catch where which identity to apply. That's why even when I explained this chapter at that time also, I again and again reiterated at that time those clue points which are essential and compulsory for you to remember and apply when you solve any example. Suppose, dear student, this is all revision, no covering of new topics, so some such so distant interaction, but it is required. I have in 3 lectures explain you the application and utilization of two identity already, a plus b whole square and a minus b whole square. Now it is in your mind that you have to remember permanently. How will you remember to apply those identity I spoke again and again? A bracket has two terms, and when bracket square is there, you will apply that identity. Now here, dear student, just the revival of those clue points for applying this identity. You can, if you remember, I have discussed three clue points, two terms. Yes, they are. Both are perfect square. Yes, they are. Their square root are possible, 4x, 5y. Third clue point, between these two terms there must be negative sign. Yes, so you can apply this identity. Can you reiterate with me all three clue point? And this clue point you just do not have to remember for 8th standard. You need to remember it for 9, 10 and further also. Understood? Right? Speak the three clue point. Come on. Two terms, they are perfect squares, means their square root is possible, and between these two terms there is negative sign. You understood this? Remind again, because this is going to be very important when you have to just solve one example in the test, in exam speaking, not test. In test also, in WRT you all know that we are not able to include whole chapter as of all. We have to include the content of some of the lecture, so you might be getting some good marks. But when the whole chapter is going to be in WRT, at that time a little difficulty may arise to solve. So clue point remembering is important for you, like you remember those multiplication table every time. Understand? So should I speak, and will you speak with me the clue point? Two terms, both are perfect squares. Between these two terms there must be negative sign. All necessary conditions are satisfied here. Let us start. Find the square root of this, 4x a whole square. Find the square root of this, 5y whole square. Now as you know, this is a square, this is b square. What is the answer? A plus b, a minus b. 4x plus 5y and 4x minus 5y. This is, I just took one example for the revival in your mind regarding this particular identity. I have taken it just to remind you those clue points. Two terms, both are perfect square, and in between those two terms there is negative sign. Then you will do the same method, okay, just for the revival, and then we will shift ourselves to difficult examples where you will apply the same identity, okay. This is some simple example as a revision. Let us go for some difficult examples. But dear student, mind one thing, difficult examples are not difficult, it is you who are making it difficult, because when you are not conceptually stronger, understand, then and then it happens that you might find it difficult to solve. Otherwise, you never feel difficult in solving any example. Okay. Clue point, please keep in mind two terms, both are perfect square. Between these two terms there must be negative sign. Again, I haven't given any SLP here because it's a simple revival, that's why. But now when I solve one difficult example here, immediately I will give you one example as SLP, self instantaneous practice. We call it SLP, self learning practice. Okay, so I am writing it now here. Example number 2. This is like this: x raised to 4 minus 16 y raised to 4. First, dear student, before I start explaining this particular example, what I told you, examples are not difficult. It is the inclarity of your basics which makes the example more difficult than they really appears to you. Which are the clue point? Two terms, both are perfect square, in between negative sign. All these parameters are satisfied by this particular example. Two terms, yes. Both are perfect square, yes. Square root is possible. Can you speak the square root of this? X square. Square root of this 4y square, in between negative sign, yes. So let us follow this identity, a square minus b square. Let me write first. Take out the square root of this, write this way: x square whole square. Concentrate here, my dear student. Minus, take out the square root of this. What could be this? 4y square whole square. Okay. Is it clear in your mind? Next step. This is A, this is B, it is A square minus B square. Let us write accordingly: A plus B, x square plus 4y square. A plus B, and then, dear student, A minus b, a plus b, a minus b. Now, dear student, why I am telling again and again that concept has to be very clear. Now, what you need to check is that our terms in any bracket are further factorizable or not. Clue point. Two terms. Yes, here are both are perfect square. Yes, both are perfect square. Here also both are perfect square. In between there must be negative sign, here positive sign. So this bracket cannot be further factorized in between negative sign. So terms in this bracket satisfy all parameter for application of this particular identity. Let us do. So what should I do for this bracket? Keep it as it is. Some are not difficult, dear student. Concept needs to be. Let us apply here. What is the first step? Take out the square root. What is that? X whole square. Take out the square root of this, 2y whole square, and close the main bracket. Please see the step, because one example I will immediately after this will give as an SLP, self-learning practice, instantaneous. Okay, let us write x square plus 4y square as it is. This is, dear student, a square minus b square. That means a plus b, a minus b. So what should I write in the first bracket? A plus b. I will write x plus 2y. A minus b, I will write x minus 2y. See the full example, dear student. Before I give one another such example as an SLP, okay? First you just verify. Just have a look at the sum. Verify each and every step. Make your basic fundamentals very clear. And then I will give you one such example as an SLP. No homework in revision lectures. What you do, examples during the lecture needs to be revised once, twice if your choice is. Twice also you can revise, because this will ultimately benefits you later on. Understood? So let us take one more example. Understand? And you just try to solve this. Let me write it here. example number 2. I am writing it here. Understand? It is like 16 x raised to 4 minus 81 y raised to 4. Okay, please try this out. A little sum is involving some more steps to check your fundamentals. I'll give you enough time of 5 minutes to solve it properly without any mistake. Okay, try this, dear student. No mistakes should occur. Just verify and try this out. Take time, check your basics, check all fundamental steps necessary to solve this particular example. Okay, after you solve, we will definitely solve it here on the board, but first you need to apply your logic and your fundamental clarity to solve this example. Then I will definitely do for you, but first you please try to solve this example by yourself. Okay, then and then I will help you. Just try this out, dear student. Even in some of the WRTs of this particular chapter, I have asked such examples, and I think many students found it difficult to solve them. Understand? That's why it is an SLP for you. Right, target is this only. Just 2 minutes, dear. No mistakes should occur. When you solve this example, please concentrate and go on verifying your basics. Understood? Just 2 minutes left. And then we'll solve the same example here on the board so that you can just verify with the example you have calculated. Take time, but solve it without any mistake and checking your basic fundamental. Every time when you solve this sum, this funda needs to click in your mind. Two terms, both are perfect square. In between there is negative sign. Apply this particular identity. Understood? That's common. two terms. So many times I spoke this statement to implant in your mind permanently. Two terms, both are perfect square, between them negative sign, that means apply the identity of a square minus b square. Understood? Just 1 minute left, dear student. Make it fast and then we will solve it here on the board. Okay, enough time. Let us solve it, dear student, now. See, the first step, two term perfect square negative sign follows all parameter for application of this identity. Take out the square root of this. It is 4x square whole square. Okay. Square root of this 9y square whole square. It is already expressed as a square minus b square, one time plus one time minus. Okay, let me write a plus b, okay, a minus b. A plus b, a minus b. Here identity cannot be applied because of positive sign. Here identity is applicable because of negative sign. Let us write this way. I will keep this bracket as it is. Please note down 4x square plus 9y square. But for this identity I am taking the square root for these terms in the bracket. Square root of this 2x whole square minus square root of this 3y whole square. Close the bracket. A square minus b square. Next step, 4x square plus 9y square. This bracket as it is. This is treated as a square minus b square. So you will write in first bracket a plus b, in second bracket a minus b. The sum is over. Just verify, dear student, because if you think that you are conceptually now very strong and can be able to solve any example the way it has been solved here, I am giving you one more example as a brainstorming for you. Understand, and you have to try to solve this example. Okay, I am giving you that particular example. But before that, check and verify with the example you have solved. Verify each and every steps properly. Okay, let me give you one challenge SLP just now and try this out. No doubt, example which I am going to give you as a challenger includes the same application of same concept, that two terms, perfect square, between them negative sign. Concept does not change at all. This is the example. Understood? And please try this one. Understand? Try this out. I'll just give you time of only 2 minutes as to gather the click point in your mind. What to do with this example? That's just the click point. Understand? Has to struck in your mind for solving this particular example. That's we want. Understood? Just 2 minutes and understand, and then I will solve the example for you. It includes more than 3 steps. Understood? That's why you need to concentrate on this. There are some such even MCQs in your formative assessment if you verify it properly. Understood? But you need to verify them. Just 1 minute now to gather the click point, and maybe you are able to solve it also. Maybe. Then I will solve it for you. Understood? To make your fundamentals clear, what I told you at the start of the lecture, it is not the sum difficult, it is your inclarity of the topic, inclarity of the concept, understand, and deficit of the practice, which actually makes the example more difficult than they really are. Here also, dear student, check of your basics. How many terms? 2. Both are perfect square? Yes or no? Many students might be thinking that square root of 4, 9, 16 is available. Well, what is the square root of 8? Actually, when you take out the square root of powers, you have to just halve them. What is the power here? 8. So its square root is 4. Okay. Let us solve. First step, take the square root of this, x raised to 4 whole square minus y raised to 4 whole square. Take 1 time plus 1 time minus. I am writing slowly so that you can keep the pace with me in this sum. A plus B, please verify. A minus B, okay. A plus B, A minus B. Check the bracket. Here there is positive sign, not sufficient for applying the identity. Two terms, negative sign, both are perfect square. Identity is applicable here. Let us do it. Keep this bracket as it is. This is as it is, and here take the square root of this, x square whole square minus y square whole square, main bracket closed. This bracket as it is, and here this is a square minus b square, one time plus a plus b, a minus b. Now again clue point. Is there any bracket where still the application of identity is possible? Here no. Here no. Is it here? Two terms. Both are perfect square. Definitely. In between negative sign. So identity is applicable here. So that means the first bracket as it is, second bracket as it is, and here take out the square root. What is the square root of this? X whole square minus y whole square. First bracket as it is, second bracket as it is, and here this is a square minus b square. That means a plus b into a minus b. So what should I write? A means x, b means y. A plus b, a minus b. This is your final answer. Please verify the answer. Understood? This is your final answer. Verify with the example because I give you just as a challenger. Just verify if you are able to solve this particular example. No doubt I have given you also very less time to just have a kick point for solving this particular example. Understood? Right? But please see, verify. And every now and there, my dear student, as I told you, stick to the concept. And what was that? Two terms, both are perfect square, and in between these two terms negative sign, then the identity becomes applicable. If you keep this concept forever in your mind, I don't think you find it difficult to solve any such example. Okay, dear student, and again, just you look at the steps, and as I told you every time that revision are actually revision lectures are designed not to just deliver you homework by revising the topic. The target of revision lecture is to strengthen the topic, strengthen your those weak points. Understand, because we started this chapter at the start, so it might have happened that in some of the lecture there may be some net problem must have arose at that time, and you would haven't been able to attend the lecture more clearly, more properly at that time. So this is a chance for you to make your topic more stronger and revise them thoroughly at home, which will boost your confidence, understand, in this particular topic. Okay, dear student. So algebraic expression revision lecture 4 will still include some more revision lecture for your benefit. Okay, dear student. So thank you very much.